What's up, everyone? Lewis Howes here, and I'm actually very excited to introduce you to someone I just met and I just recently found online. His name's Nick Pitera. What's up, Nick? How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing well, thanks.
Awesome. And Nick, you are in San Francisco area, correct?
I am, yeah.
And Nick, I found Nick. Now, no one can attack me for this because I found Nick because I secretly love Glee. And I was searching for Glee videos, music videos on YouTube, and all of a sudden one of Nick's videos popped up that said Glee in the title, and I said, who is this guy and why does he have so many millions of views? So I watched this video and I was blown away at a few different things, Nick. I was blown away, one, by how talented you were, but it's a very unique talent, which I'll get into in a second. And I was blown away, number two, by your passion for your talent and what you love, and so I wanted to reach out to Nick and kind of interview him to kind of let him share his story and learn a little bit more about his passion and what he's been doing to get his passion out there. So Nick, can you tell me a little bit just a little bit about your background? You work for Pixar right now, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been working there?
About 3 years now.
3 years, and you do animation, correct?
Yeah, I'm a 3D sculptor.
3D sculpture. So what's that mean exactly? On the computer, you're sculpting things?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing as sculpting with clay, but you're doing everything in the computer.
Okay, gotcha.
If that makes any sense.
And this is, wouldn't you say that's one of your main passions as a career, right? To do.
Yeah, this? Yeah. Since I was 5, the two things I was interested in doing were drawing and singing, and both of which sort of came from watching Disney movies over and over again. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you've been doing that for a few years, and you're from Minnesota, but now you're in San Francisco.
For sure.
So, but you don't have the Minnesota accent.
I don't. I think I used to have it a little bit, but I lost it. I went to school in Florida for college, and I think by the time I graduated college, I had lost any sort of accent I had.
Okay.
Some of my relatives have it a little stronger than I do. But, if you go up northern Minnesota, then it starts to really come out. But yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So Nick is. I'll get right to it. Nick is a YouTube celebrity. Some may not know of him, but some of you may know him. And just really quick to tell everyone watching, how many views do you have on all your YouTube videos right now currently?
I think combined, they're at about 80 million, I think.
80 million. And what do you have, like 70 videos, or am I way off there?
I think I have 70-something videos, I think, yeah.
Okay, so over 1 million in average per video, but some have a lot more than 1 million, some have less probably. How many subscribers do you have?
I think it's 227,000, I think,
cool.
is where it's at the moment.
And when was your first YouTube video?
My first YouTube video was actually for a contest. I entered this contest where you just sing a song from The Little Mermaid. And the only reason I put it up on YouTube was because the contest required you to do so, and then you had to submit that link as your contest entry.
Okay.
So I did that, and that kind of got spread around a bit. Nothing crazy viral, but enough to get some exposure and momentum.
Right.
And then during that, my friends suggested that I sing a duet with myself, because in that original video I was only singing high and no one thought it was real. So like, okay, well, sing using both registers and see if people respond to it. So I put A Whole New World up, and then that video went crazy, and I discovered that I had an audience and figured that it was a great outlet to sing, so I figured I would keep going with it.
And for those who don't know yet, I've got videos below. I'm going to be posting videos below of some of the examples of Nick doing this, but this is his unique talent, is that he sings kind of like duets, right? Why don't you say that's kind of like your unique talent? You can sing low, but you can sing high.
Yeah, my range is sort of both extremes.
It's very unique. It's almost very, you're like a Disney character in a sense. Wouldn't you almost agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
It may be a little out there, but in a sense, you could basically portray any Disney character through song, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I try to.
Okay, awesome. And but also, you've got this passion, but you say sometimes that it's also not always well received. Isn't that correct?
Not always. I mean, what I do, the way that I sing is not necessarily normal, and people don't always respond to it that great. And when people are at the safety of being behind their computer, they can say a lot of not so nice things. But I don't take it that seriously.
Really?
No, because if they're commenting, that means they clicked on it and they gave me a view. So I'll take that.
You'll take it, right?
I'll take it. And it's fine with me. I'm used to it. And it doesn't bother me. And for the most part, like the people that follow, and subscribe, they're doing so because they enjoy it, and I try to concentrate on that because it's, I'm very grateful to the people that are supportive and like what I'm doing, and it's just a lot more important to sort of draw my attention in that direction as opposed to focusing on the people that are, not worth my time.
That's good, because a lot of people can't really focus on just the positives that they get, the positive critics. They really focus on that one negative person.
Yeah, and I see that happen to a lot of people, especially on YouTube, because the internet is such, an open source for, bullying and, being mean. But, it's unfortunate when people can't see past that stuff. But I try to. Right.
So, when I first saw your first video, in the first 10 seconds, I got it. Exactly what you do, your passion, everything about you. But there's some other people you said that don't really get it. But why did it take you until, I guess, 2 years ago to really start sharing it online? Why not share it earlier, or why not start getting out there and doing more shows? Or
YouTube was still really new by the time that I started using it. It had only been out for maybe a year or so, but when I started posting. And at that point, there was maybe only a couple people that were doing the whole singing thing and putting it up on YouTube.
Right.
So when I started, that was still kind of a new thing. It's very common now, but it was pretty new at that point. And before then, the internet has provided such an outlet for singing. But before that, it was sort of, there were just the two extremes. You either no one knows who you are, or everyone knows who you are because a label has promoted you and you're famous. Right. And because what I do is so not the norm, I didn't necessarily think that I could go anywhere with it. So. I did lots of stuff, locally. I would, if there was a coffee house or any sort of chance to perform at my school or, in my local area, I would take it and do that. And, I sing all the time just because I love to do it. But it was really nice to sort of have the internet as an outlet and a clear outlet and a platform to sort of, move forward with music. And show that I could do something with it.
Yeah. So the reason I found you is because I saw that you were auditioning for a spot on Glee, or to potentially get in front of them and do a casting on Glee. And has that kind of been your goal for the last 6 months, or for the last year? Or how long have you had that goal?
That was not necessarily. That's something that I would really love to do. It wasn't something that I necessarily focused on until I saw that contest had started.
Right.
It's still something I would really love to do, and I don't think there's anyone who sings or does any sort of musical anything that wouldn't love to be on that show.
Right.
It's one of my goals, I guess I could say.
One of the goals, right? Okay, cool.
Not necessarily the only thing that I'm trying or striving towards, but yeah, it would be cool. It'd be very cool.
When you first saw that show, were you like, I would love to be on that?
Yes, instantly.
Because a lot of your videos,
the show aired, the pilot aired, and I think because I put up a song, I put up "Don't Stop Believing," I think a day after the pilot aired.
Really?
And that's kind of why it got exposure, was because people searched for that song, and mine was one of the few videos that showed up at that point. But yeah, I loved the show immediately, and at that point, it was still an underdog show. No one knew what it was. I even sent it via Twitter to some of the cast members, and they had messaged back pretty fast. Which was very cool. It was cool to get their support, and they knew who I was from before.
Shut up.
Because a lot of them, Glee was their first, big thing.
Yeah.
Not that I'm big by any means, but I've been on the internet for a little bit, and a couple of them had seen a couple of my videos, and that blew me away. And they let me know that they had.
Wow. That
was enough for me. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's that's enough to keep me happy for a year. Just
have you talked to any of them besides on a couple tweets, or no?
A little bit, but
nice.
But yeah, a little.
Nice, man. So that's pretty exciting. So, and you had a great strategy, because I noticed a bunch of your videos had Glee, and then it said the song name, and you were basically doing what a lot of marketers do on YouTube to try to rank higher and get more views. Is basically just keyword optimization on YouTube, which I thought was, as a singer, most singers don't know how to market well, but I think you figured that out pretty easily. That just add some keywords, and it's going to help you rank higher as a related video to the original.
Yeah, I think part of me felt. A lot of that wasn't necessarily intentional. It was just because, I liked that song, so I put it up. And I know that people will search Glee. And so if it's a song that was on Glee, it makes sense for me to put Glee in the title. And feels a little dirty, but,
no, it's good marketing.
It works, right? Because I want people to see it. And, hopefully if they search it, and they're interested in watching, they will.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I found you, because you had that on there. So it worked for me. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the journey's been like ever since you started doing these, ever since you got like your first million views on one video. What's it been like? You've been on the Ellen DeGeneres show twice or three times now. You've been twice. You've been featured in a bunch of press. You've been in the Today Show of Australia and some other things you said. What's the journey just been like ever since posting your first video? It's
been super random, but in a very positive way. Like I've sort of just been riding the ride and enjoying it because random opportunities seem to pop up when I least expect it to. There'll be a lull for a month and I won't really hear anything. Then all of a sudden, I'll get an email about either Ellen or some other interview or TV segment or article being written or a concert to come perform at. So it's been pretty great. It's been really exciting to kind of get to pursue music and in such a varied way, getting to, I'll go and perform at a college and then the next month I'll go and perform on Ellen or, after that I'll go interview with someone or it's just been really fun and unexpected.
Is Ellen planning to bring you back at all or no?
I don't know because the first two times were super out of the blue. The first time it happened, I wasn't expecting, actually the first time I was contacted by them, nothing panned out. And then I got a call randomly a year later. Really? And they're like, why don't you come on in 2 days? I was like, oh, okay. The second time I went on, that once again was super last minute. I think I had just been written up on Entertainment Weekly's website. Okay. And I think that kind of spawned the interest in having me come back as an actual guest and have a segment. Interesting. And so that happened super fast. And I once again wasn't expecting that, but was super grateful. And it was really fun getting to go back a second time, having experienced it once. That sort of got some nerves out, and it was mostly the same crew, so it was really great to see them, and everyone who works there is super nice and really great, so it was kind of, it was fun to sort of go back and, not feel totally, in a new world.
Right. A whole new world. No pun intended. Now, in that second one, you did like a split screen. You basically showed them exactly what you can do with the split screen video, which I thought was pretty cool. So did you record that before the show? And then you came
we tested out a few different ways. Originally, we were just going to have me sing the song normally, just flipping parts with one take live. And then they had an idea to do the split screen. And so we pre-recorded the lower part. Right. And then I sang the live part once the audience got there and right after the segment. So they're both technically live, but the second one was done with the audience.
Right, exactly. And for everyone who's watching right now, if you don't know what we're talking about, the lower and higher part, you have to watch the video below because it's pretty amazing. Whether you like it or not, you can see Nick's passion and his talent shining through in the video, which is very inspiring for me because a lot of people may have a passion, but they're really afraid to pursue their passion. I guess that's the next question I have for you. Pursuing this passion, which is not always well perceived or well received from some people, but others, they love it. Kind of like me, I'm really excited for you. What do you feel like has been your success in continuing to do this? And why didn't you just stop after the first one? Why do you want to keep doing these? What's your motivation? What's your inspiration? And what's keeping you going? Because it's a lot of work to make these productions take weeks.
It is a lot of work.
And you've got a full-time job. So, I mean, what's motivating you?
Well, singing. I've just always been super passionate about singing. That's always been, the thing I've loved to do most. And so I'm just grateful that I have, an outlet to do it. And so I just want to take advantage of that as much as possible. If there are people willing to listen, I'm going to sing because I'm going to sing regardless whether or not anyone's listening. So I'm just really grateful that people are watching, and that sort of really motivates me to do a project or take something on and put it out there because I feel like I have a reason to do it. Because a lot of times, you can kind of lose your drive a lot if you don't feel like there's a concrete, tangible end goal. And so it's really nice for me to have, a reason to do this or a reason to put out a song. Okay, well, people have requested this, or I think people might like this one. I want to get it done. This one means a lot to me. I want people to see it, and I'll put it up. Right. Or right now I'm working on some stuff to go up on iTunes, and that feels like a very tangible goal and something that I can specifically work towards. And it's just really nice to have that and have a deadline for myself to get something done and put out there.
Now, from a marketing standpoint, are you monetizing any of this right now? Are you selling songs on iTunes and getting a cut of that, or how is that working?
Yeah. So I'm still somewhat relatively new to the iTunes stuff, but
Right.
I've had stuff up there since I think last August, and I've just continually been able to. I'm working with some producers, actually in the UK, and I'm getting some covers up there, and
Nice.
I'm hopefully going to move forward with some original stuff as well.
Now, what's the other end goals then? Would you rather be on your own TV show like a Glee? Beyond that, would it be you want to be a solo artist? You want to sing in a band? You want to do Broadway? Is there like one specific thing you want, or is it kind of you're open-minded to any type of opportunity?
I'm somewhat open-minded. I mean, I would love, like I said, I would love to be on Glee. I feel like that, regardless of whether or not they want me, I feel like that is something that I would fit in very well, and something that would fit me very well.
Right.
That would be amazing. Voice acting is something I've always wanted to do. I think since I was little, I always wanted to work on a Disney film and voice a Disney character at some point. So that's kind of on my bucket list, is to, whether or not it means like one line in a movie or like an actual full-fleshed character, I really want to voice an animated character at some point. And sort of the solo music career is also something that I'm, on an independent level working towards right now, and hoping, I can kind of get myself developed as an artist over the next, hopefully, my goal is within this next year sort of really get myself more developed as an artist, and stuff out there, and have people sort of see what I'm about musically.
Now, is Pixar your employer? Are they supporting you along this? Are they? If you said, "Hey, look, I'm interested in doing voiceover stuff for characters," would they be open to letting you audition, or how is that work? Because they've seen.
Yeah, no, they're really great. They're really great.
Yeah,
they're a great company to work for, and everyone there has been nothing but supportive. I was doing this stuff before I was employed there, so they were actually, a lot of them were aware of what I was doing before I showed up.
Interesting. Very cool.
So, yeah.
So what would you say, we'll get in the last couple questions here, what would you say to someone who has a full-time job but they're just not happy? Obviously, you're happy with your job. You love it.
Yeah.
And you've got a side passion that you're really excited about, and you're driving as well. But what would you say to someone who's just not happy about their job, or they're not happy where they're at in their business, and they want to pursue a passion? What would you say to them on how to do that, how to take action, or what they should think about, or what do you think?
I would say just find something that either inspires or motivates you to work towards it, I don't necessarily think ditching whatever you're doing right away is the key. I would say, like, you need to make time. Like, I know it's super hard. It is very hard to, full-time work for something as well as try and pursue something on the side. But if it's something you care about passionately enough, you need to, it can be hard, but you got to force yourself to make the time.
And you have how many critics? Every video you probably get a couple hundred people saying nasty things a day about you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't keep track of that.
That's good.
It's at this point, it's most of that stuff was mainly in the beginning of when I first started on YouTube. At this point, most of the people that watch my videos watch it because they want to.
Right.
So it's not really that negative, unless actually I know my videos are reaching new audiences when they start to get negative.
Right.
Just because once if something gets big enough and it's reaching a new demographic or people that haven't seen me before,
right.
That's sort of how I gauge it. Like, oh, I guess new people are seeing this because I'll get some negative stuff. But yeah, at this point, it's been long enough where people are pretty supportive of it.
Now, as a YouTuber, what are your YouTube goals? Are you trying to reach 500 million views? Are you trying to reach 1 million subscribers? Are you doing more like partnerships with YouTubers who have big audience as well, where you guys can cross promote each other and sing? I saw one duet with another YouTuber. Are you doing that a lot more?
Actually, I've done that quite a bit, and that is like the most fun thing ever. I find it super amazing and just so cool that I can duet with these people that either live in other countries or they live in other states. Like, and they're amazing. Like, there are some really amazing people that perform on YouTube, and it's just really fun to sort of connect with them and sing with them, and you sort of form this little community. Actually, almost a year ago now, a bunch of us did a YouTube version of We Are the World, which got quite a bit of exposure.
Okay.
There was like 50 of us that all sang on that. This last December, we were all hired to go do a live show in DC. So about 35 of us were all flown out with a band, and we put on a full show. And it was the most amazing thing ever because, out of this one video that was all done independently in people's bathrooms and people's bedrooms, spawned this actual physical meeting. We all were hired to come meet each other for the first time. And actually, some of those people that I met, I had sung with independently before online as well, but never met in person.
Wow.
And it was the most amazing 4 days that I'd ever had, just because here were all these people that were so passionate about singing, and we all because of YouTube, got to meet in person and put on this really fun, amazing show because of one video. Right. And that's, to me, that sort of mind-blowing that can happen just from connecting and, putting, your talent and your passion to good use.
Right.
Or actually using it.
Right.
So that was a pretty great experience.
Well, I mean, I look at Justin Bieber, and he became famous from YouTube, It's like he built an empire from YouTube.
I remember when he first started. I watched his stuff
really
probably a year or so before he was signed, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to watch someone from YouTube skyrocket, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Now you wish you would have done it. You wish you would have done it.
People have various opinions of Bieber, but that kid's talented.
I love the kid, man. I watched the movie twice. I'm not ashamed to say that. Do you wish you would have done a duet with him before he got famous?
Oh yeah, sure, of course. I think he was like 10 at that point.
Right.
Actually, one of his videos was it was attached to one of mine for a while.
Really?
He asked a response to I think One Sweet Day was a video that I had up, and that's actually how I saw him. I didn't know who he was until I saw that he was connected to one of my videos, and at that point he had just started up on YouTube, and I was like, this kid is ridiculously talented. Fast forward a few months, and he's the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. If you could do a duet with one person, one singer in the world, who would it be?
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
I've been in awe of her voice since I was like 12. She has the most ridiculous voice, and I just think she's amazing, and I'd give anything to sing with her. And it doesn't matter what it is. I would sing anything with her, if possible.
Wow.
That'd be mine.
Awesome. So, Nick, where can people find you online?
They can find me on my YouTube channel. If you just search Nick Pitera, I should pop up.
Okay.
I'm also on Twitter as Nick Pitera as well, and on Facebook as Nick Pitera Music. And then also on iTunes, if you just, once again, search my name.
Awesome. I appreciate you coming on, Nick. Thanks for taking the time. And
thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing you on Glee hopefully soon.
Fingers crossed.